Now the Williamson question, you brought up this point the other day. It wasn't a segment, but you brought it up on a podcast. It's whether or not the Pelicans should move on from Zion Williamson due to his injuries. He suffered a right hamstring injury in early January versus 76ers, then suffered a setback before All-Star break. What's interesting and what I want to contextualize is that the Pelicans are 16 and 24 without Zion. They were 17 and 12 with him, but I don't know if him staying healthy was the cure people think it is, because they lost 6 of the last 8 with him. So before he went down, they were starting to lose with him, but I understand Ingram also wasn't healthy in those games. Zion and Ingram, this duo has played a combined 93 games together. They have been on the same roster for 4 seasons. Ingram has missed 64 games in the last 2 seasons, and Zion has missed 171 games out of 285 potential ones he could have played. So when looking at this, the Pelicans obviously have a problem in terms of health in their star players. Brandon Ingram has missed a lot of time in the last 2 seasons, and Zion Williamson, it seems like another season that he's not even going to play half of the games, and he's suffering these setbacks. His rookie year, he didn't play much. His second year, he played. His third year, he didn't play. And now his 4th year, he barely played. So this begs the question, do you think the Pelicans should start thinking about moving on from Zion or even moving on from Brandon Ingram?
I think this completely becomes unrelated to talent at this point. I think when you've reached the point where your star player has damn near missed 3 out of the 4 years he's been in the league, pretty much, and then your other star player hasn't consistently been on the court, this doesn't become are they talented enough problem. This becomes, are they healthy enough? And when you have to ask a bunch of 22 to 25-year-olds, are you healthy enough? I think that's a major, major issue. Now, the Pelicans, I think we can all agree, have a talented roster. They have a lot of good young pieces. You know, Zion, Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy, Dyson Daniels when he gets on the scene, Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado. Like, they have a really solid – JV he needs to go, but for the most part, they have a really good, solid, team, and a player like Jarris Walker could come in and change the impact of this team. He can be a guy that can fit in, or another wing player, but I think Zion is such a tricky talent because he's deemed as generational. He's deemed that he's supposed to come in, change the franchise. When we seen him on the scene, he was unstoppable. He was dominant. Even this year, they did lose 6 of their last 8. But when he was playing, we had him in conversations for the MVP. We had him as like, he's one of those guys. We've seen the real Zion. This team is great. This team is thriving behind him. Then he gets hurt, and now we're not going to see him for the rest of the year. Mm-hmm. This is starting to become it's cooked. This is becoming a consistent thing, and I think you have to start looking at it as like, yeah, Zion is talented. Zion is great. He might become an MVP player, but will he be playing enough games to win the MVP award? And now they're starting to they might put games played on the MVP, so that might be cooked for Zion, And now you're paying this guy, and he's not on the floor enough. I think this definitely is starting to become an issue for the Pels, a team that might never reach his potential. I mean, I like to compare them to PG and Kawhi a lot, because PG and Kawhi are the standard of a duo that misses a lot of time, misses a lot of injuries. PG and Kawhi are 30 and up. They're in their 30s. Both of them have dealt with pretty bad, significant injuries throughout their career, as opposed to Brandon Ingram and Zion. I'm not saying that their injuries are nothing less, but they haven't dealt with Achilles or, damn near a broken leg. See, these are 2 guys, younger ages, really young, and their experiences injuries. The Pelicans have to ask themselves, do we want to keep going with this, or do we want to capitalize now and get assets? Because there's a chance Zion might not be able to play enough for this team to fully reach their potential.
I simply cannot, as a GM, be responsible for trading Zion Williamson. I understand that he's missed a ton of games. There's no way that I would get fired if I did not want to trade a generational talent when he's on the court. One of the best drivers of the basketball, one of the best finishers of the basketball, one of the most dominant forces in the NBA that we have. It's Giannis and Zion Williamson. When you're in a conversation with Giannis, the best player in the association, let's just be transparent, you're doing something correct. Now, I get you, Riv. He's missed a lot of games, and it's been different injuries, and that's concerning to me. But I simply am going to hold out hope, because I understand how great he is.
How long do you wait? I'm asking you, like, how long would you wait? You're the GM.
You wait out his contract. It is what it is.
3 years.
It is what it is.
Oh, my God.
I don't care.
You're holding your franchise hostage.
And that is 100% okay, because when Zion's on the court, it proves that we are better when Zion is there. Now, if Zion's not there.
That's not a proven fact.
Here's another reason. No, it is a proven fact.
He has been on the court for maybe 2 seasons.
He's played like 100 games.
They have been
Stop.
in the he's been in the MVP conversation, correct? They were a number 1 seed for like 2 weeks. They have been winning basketball with Zion
on the court
for like 30 games.
No, okay, no doubt about it, because he's missed. When he's on the court, he made them one of the best teams in the game.
For 30 games.
Okay,
he has not proven
anything. He's been
anything.
out for a while now.
But that's the point. He has not proven anything.
What do you mean he hasn't proven anything?
He hasn't.
In which way?
You can't stay healthy.
That's the
problem. Zion's proven. He just can't stay healthy.
He's not proven.
The efficiencies.
His talent is there. We know when he plays, he's going to show. But the problem is he does not play. So they have not proven that they're even a fully built playoff team because he's not on the court. He has not proven that he's a consistent player because they're not on the court.
He does mask
we can imagine all day, but it's been 4 years.
I'm not imagining. In the 29 games that he played.
Look at the sample size you're saying.
29 games.
Well, what Riv is saying is that Zion is not proven in terms of.
You don't have. Listen, Zion, I get where he's coming from. I'm choosing to completely ignore it.
No, I don't think you get it, because Riv is saying that Zion has not played a playoff game.
No,
that's why he's not proven.
I get it. And this Pelicans team that just made the playoffs and gave the number 1 seed in the Phoenix Suns a series last year, we had high.
Zion also did not play.
Riv, I understand that.
I'm just saying. Gotta add that.
All Riv is saying is that Zion is not proven.
This team was supposed to compete. This team, especially now that Zion was there, this was supposed to be a new team. Here comes Zion, and they're the number 1 seed of these 29 games. And if you think that come playoff time that he was not, is that your thing? That because you don't see in the playoffs, you don't know if Zion's going to be great come playoff time? Is that your concern?
No. He didn't get that far.
I understand that, but is that you're saying
they were the number 1 seed? BI was hurt. Then Zion goes down. BI's come back. They drop. Last year in the playoffs, they go. BI was there. Who was out? Zion. There's always something. You know what I'm saying? Like
So are you trading BI something. Or are you trading Zion?
You got to think about both parties.
All right. If
you trade BI before you trade Zion.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to think about both parties.
Your idea cannot be, I want to trade Zion. No. Your idea should be, hey, we're still have a ton of draft capital from the Lakers, from us, that we've still been able to retain. If Zion doesn't play, if he's hurt, which sucks, obviously you want Zion on the court, our team's not going to be nearly as good. We're still going to have a great draft capital, great position to draft players to put around Zion Williamson. When Zion Williamson's on the court, they will be winning basketball games.
I think Riv has not said once that Zion's not a great player. He knows he's a great player.
I know.
But I think what he's saying about not being proven, that's a fair statement, because Zion has not consistently performed at an elite level for multiple seasons on end and has not played a playoff game.
When Zion's on the court, he's been proven to be elite.
We know he can.
Oh yeah, no, we know he's an elite player. There's no doubt.
So then what are we really talking about?
Zion,
you want to put players around a player that might not play.
That's the issue, because you could trade Brandon Ingram, but you still have the Zion problem that he doesn't stay healthy. And
I never said I would trade. I just said to open up the conversation.
Yes, because trading Brandon Ingram doesn't really fix much.
Trading Zion brings you a plethora of things.
I just said open up the conversation. I'm being super hard-headed, no doubt about it.
Because you love Zion, I get it.
You're a Zion guy.
No doubt about that's an obvious statement also, but I'm being hard-headed because I understand the talent that is Zion Williamson. We all understand this talent that is Zion Williamson. They're clearly significantly better than when he's on the court. And also, if you're another team, yes, the package will be right, but if you're the Pelicans, what package is right to trade this player that has been arguably our best player?
Package for
anybody. There never is.
So
like even
how,
Kevin Durant,
how can you get yourself to trade Zion when you've seen how unbelievable he is?
Because you know this shit's not going to get fixed. Zion's not going to get older and get healthier. This has been a promise since the day he was in college. It was the conversation on the number 1 pick. It's been a problem every single season. He missed an entire year already. So it's hard for me to believe, and I get it, Drew. I don't want to be the GM that has to trade Zion, but I also have to realize if I want to be the GM of this Pelicans team, if we don't make the playoffs in another 2-3 years, I'm probably getting fired regardless. Obviously, you're going to need approval from the owner to trade someone of this caliber. He's going to have to be on board too, but I have a hard time believing that Zion, with age, is going to be able to get over these injury bugs. He's still going to be the same player with the same concerns. So if you move off him now, at least you have a chance to get, not a chance, you will get a huge amount of draft picks, young players, and you could rebuild and try to structure your team that way, because I can't see a world where, and it's hard because Pelicans fans right now, they haven't even seen what this team can be with Zion. They have a really well-constructed team of, you got CJ, you got Ingram, you got role players like Trey Murphy and Jose Alvarado. So you have pieces that you want to see work and you think can
I hate
work.
The CJ fit, me personally.
But you could see the vision there.
I think you bring up a great point that piggybacks to what I'm going to say right now. You are thinking about worst case scenario, Drew. If you trade Zion and he becomes great, you're gonna look foolish. But what Dehls just proposed is that if you trade Zion and he does not stay healthy, and you get a treasure chest of assets,
it's not your
you
problem.
look like a genius.
It's not your problem anymore.
You look like a genius for doing that move. I'm not saying I trade Zion, but I kind of disagree with the notion a little bit that this roster is amazing.
I agree.
It's
with
not
that.
amazing.
Just because I look at this roster, especially since Zion has been out, and I know a lot of people want to throw Willie Green on the hot seat. People have complained about the isocentrism of this offense, but they're third in passes made per game, 9th in assists, 10th in potential assists.
Been a good passer.
I think they do pass the ball a lot. Jonas Valanciunas is an odd fit. He can't defend. He's a post player. He's an old school player. He can't pass the ball well. There's a reason why the Grizzlies got better when they got rid of him and brought in Steven Adams. And even when Adams has been injured, we've seen the Grizzlies drop off. CJ McCollum isn't a true point guard. And there's just no consistent shooting.
I agree.
Jose
Herb
Alvarado,
can't
Josh
shoot.
Richardson, Herb Jones, Najee Marshall, Dyson Daniels, they're all shooting under 33% from three. Their only shooters are CJ
Trey.
and BI and Trey Murphy, correct. Those are three guys. It's not enough for this roster.
I agree.
The reason why I think the Pelicans are in a good position is because based on their standings right now, whether they get a low pick or the Lakers drop off, but the Lakers have been playing well, they could get a top pick in this draft and they could pivot and maybe draft a franchise player that could now replace Zion in terms of who they want to build a franchise around.
Is there a franchise player in this draft?
Scoot.
Yeah, but I'm saying
They're up
that's
3
the luxury
with
of them
possession,
getting
7
top
seconds.
2.
When they got the first overall pick, they
It
were
was
not supposed to
fortunate.
get that
It was
pick.
fortunate. You're not wrong.
Certain players can be with the right pop.
I agree with that, but I feel like if I look at this draft, I see Victor, them getting the number 1 overall selection. Right now, where it currently stands, is it possible? Anything's possible with this draft.
I get what you mean. It's not likely, though.
It's not likely. Scoot, probably not likely. Brandon Miller, probably not likely. Are the Thompson twins franchise changers? We'll see. I feel like the top 3 are the only ones that
Needs the right pace to pop.
Yeah, if we're exactly. So I understand.
Who?
Listen,
For the Thompsons?
Yeah.
I think the 3 are Scoot, Wemby, and
no
Miller.
doubt, I'm with you.
I think they're franchise players, at least as of right now and as my scouting goes. But I will say this. I don't think there's any team out there that would trade a significant amount of assets for Zion
No,
right now.
Probably not.
there isn't.
Multiple first-round picks and young players. You don't think someone would
Maybe not the
fetch up
young
for?
players, but the multiple
The
picks
Knicks
I
wouldn't
can
do
see.
it.
No.
The Knicks would pull the trigger.
You think so?
I think so.
don't
Personally, I
What
do.
would they trade?
RJ and
RJ's
hella
gone.
Picks. Hella picks.
I know you say Quinn's untouchable. He's
RJ,
gone.
You think
RJ
that-
quickly and hella
After you
picks.
won.
Quickly would be.
Reduce
That's
always.
insane,
Let's go.
bro. That's
That's so
insane.
tough.
That's
You?
insane.
Chelsea.
Ah!
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to not. If you just said no, I was going to not dap you.
I can't root for Tina.
No, who else? No, also 16
No, actually, you
seed.
can't because we're from Hackensack.
That's-
No, you
that's
cannot.
fitting. But it's also a 16 seed.
Yeah.
You root for the 16 seed always.
Valid.
No, I don't think the Knicks make that trade. I don't. Personally, I don't.
I just find it so hard to believe that, one, you're just bringing in someone who would immediately change the outlook of the squad.
We know
The Knicks are in
Miami
a
would be
great
in a
pos-
conversation.
Every single one.
For sure.
I don't know about you, but I am very questionable about the Zion and Randall fit.
Oh, for sure.
Wouldn't Zion have
I
to,
think maybe Randall
go,
probably would be
though?
in
Yeah, Randall
that
would be
trade
the one
also.
to go, right?
You don't want to give up Randall?
Wouldn't Randall be the one to go?
I don't know. I don't know if the Pelicans just like, yeah, give me Julius Randle.
No, it would
No,
probably.
I
It would
want
no.
him
It
for
would be.
Zion.
It would be in this theoretical world, of course. Don't fucking clown me. This off the top of my head. Randall, RJ. I don't know if both Quickly
gonna take-
and Grimes.
it's
You
gonna
think
take-
both of them would go?
I'm
I
gonna be
don't
honest.
think
If I'm the Pelicans, it's gonna take more than IQ
Yeah.
Grimes and picks for Zion.
No, for sure. But I'm
Like,
saying
no-
it needs to be Randall.
No
It
team.
needs to be RJ. Probably Quickly and Quentin Grimes. But I'm sure if you're the Knicks, you want to hold on to one of these two.
What is
Oh
that?
my
Spurs
God,
up
20 on the Grizzlies.
No team will be willing to pay what the Pelicans want
Yeah.
or what Zion's
They'll
worth.
probably do what happened with KD. And then eventually I don't know. It's just the conversation needs to be had because it's like, damn, dog. Like, I'm not saying Zion's not great, but dog, it's about to be year 4.
Yeah.
But the conversation
5.
should be, hey, the idea of trading Brandon Ingram should be real.
I think both. You have to think of both. You have to think of both
He's
possibilities.
significantly better.
And this is why I started my soliloquy with saying this is no longer a talent thing.
I know.
This is who is going to be on the court for me at this point, because like Zion, as great as a talent he is, he's about to go into year 5 barely playing 100 games.
Here's the good thing. His injuries are not significant ones.
They never really
Last
are.
year, yes, he missed the whole year.
Does that even matter to you?
Soft tissue injuries, you can overcome that.
But how many times does this have to happen until you say, I don't care what the injury is. It's just always something.
I'm not disagreeing. The foot injury was a genuine concern. He's over the foot shit, no doubt. That sounds weird to say, but that's the only thing. He's over the foot injury debacle.
Okay.
Then it was a soft tissue injury. If it's a hamstring, I'm fine. If it was another real structural damage type injury, then I have concerns. And then I start to level with you guys. But I can't level because, one, this injury is not significant
you can't
enough.
level even though it's about to be year 5 and he has barely played.
I can't respectfully for the fact that
Hamstrings do linger on, though.
But not for like years. Though,
Yeah, no.
you know.
But if he's
Didn't
also
Harden
young.
linger on for like a year and some change?
That's because he also like came
played
back
on it.
fast. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why they're being cautious because they understood that, one, when he was gone, they were losing a lot of games. So many games that they put themselves in this position where they are right now.
I think
The good thing is that they have a
Amazing
fairly
draft
easy
picks.
next
That's-
4 games.
They do have.
They're
a light
facing
schedule.
the Rockets, Spurs, Hornets.
Rockets just
and then
Rockets
the
probably
Clippers.
beat them
stop,
once.
stop calling Rockets easy, man.
The next 4.